I think
Okay, we're on. I don't know if I did it right. All right.
Yeah, we're on.
Difficulties.
Yes, we are here, everybody. I'm John Zidar, and the lady behind the screen is Taylor. She is our charter. We are going to be talking about stocks that you brought to us today. I like to share stocks with you all week, but chances are I'm not covering the stocks you want me to. And we do have some real good choices today. Let y'all know that these are coming to you on behalf of our Discord group, Penny Boys. I'm out here just letting you know we're there. We do OTC, we do blue chip stocks, sports betting, tokens, cryptocurrency, and we've got experts in all of these areas. Lots of chat, lots of free stuff. We have some paid for education. Do whatever you want. But there's an invite down at the bottom in the comments. Click it and come on in. You never know what you might find. So, in saying that, I never know what I'm going to do in these shows because I never know what stocks you guys are going to bring me. Today, we do have some luscious stocks that have been brought to me, and all of them came before 4 o'clock. I tell you all the time, get your tickers in early. If you bring them in when the show starts, chances are we won't get to them. However, I got an idea that I'm going to bring up with Taylor after this show ends. So remind me about that, Taylor.
Will do.
All right. So I have got one stock that came from, well, actually, it's already been requested down here. XTIA. It's actually going to be the first one we look at because I think 5 or 6 people on YouTube. And here, I'm going to close that. You're probably all hearing those beeps. There we go. Sorry about that. Where are you? I lost you. There you is. Lots of people have been asking to look at Inpixion. But if you're looking for Inpixion on the OTC market, you're not going to find it. They don't even tell you where it's hiding. It changed its name now. So we've got lots of great stocks to look at. MBS.
This is XTI Aerospace, correct?
Yes, yes.
Gotcha.
We've been talking about this for 5 minutes. She couldn't find the chart. Yes, it is XTI Aerospace now.
Just want to make it clear to everyone because it's different name. All right.
Right. We'll get to that when I get to it.
Okay. Sorry. I'm trying to help.
MBS, you squeezed in 2. I didn't know how many stocks we were going to have come in, so I slotted your LQMT first. We did have room for PWDY. I got that in the back end. Vega Smith, we got your Shum or whatever you want to pronounce. Kashera, yes, glad to see you here. MMEX, we've got that covered too. Who else, Mr. T. Rick? Oh, you brought us a hot stock. Not a lot of information to show you, but man, have I got some hot information to share with you. So, we got a latecomer who's actually on time. Why did I call Mr. Kwando Team late? No, you're right on time. Appreciate you being here, buddy. Thank you. Speaking of on time, let's jump into those stocks. Let's not waste any more time. We are going to take a look at Inpixion first, but it's not called Inpixion anymore. I'm over here at the OTC markets doing all of my research. I'm going to do it for major exchange stocks and the OTC. I find they give me most of the information here. It's a great place to start. I don't know where you do yours. This is where I do mine. Now, if I type Inpixion up here, nothing comes up. Doesn't even tell you the name has changed. So if you were looking for it and didn't know they changed their name, you'd have to go do a search somewhere else to get that information.
Oh, this one's on the NASDAQ, just so everyone knows. Yep. Hey, I am trying to help more because I wasn't here last week. So
I do all that. This is XTIA, finished today at $2.41 and is on the major exchange, the NASDAQ. This is a penny stock that comes with benefits. You don't have to pay for any of your transactions like you do the OTC. You get to trade pre-market, aftermarket. Let me tell you what, folks, pre-market is worth getting up early for. There's some huge runs there, and they normally crash before the bell. And of course, there's a heck of a lot more volume and money up on the major exchange. And let's not overlook the fact there's more scrutiny. They've got a lot of criteria and rules and hoops to jump through on the major exchange that they don't on the OTC. So we don't have to put up with as much BS with the stocks on the major exchange. Now, there's a lot to be said about Inpixion. She has just completed her own merger, but she had a merger with a subsidiary not too long ago. But let's not get confused. Let's just work with this the way I've got it. They have changed their name now to XTI Aerospace Inc., but they also refer to themselves as Cicerex. Now, this is what they have. This company has got a VTOL, that is vertical takeoff and landing airplane that flies like a drone for the most part. And the company has been known as Sycorex. I got it here somewhere right there. This is back in 2014, 2013, Sycorex. So this name has been around for a long time. I don't know where it disappeared to, but it is back in the picture now. But also, they haven't given up their website, Inpixion.com. So don't get confused here. The company is XTIA Aerospace, but Sycorex is affiliated with it. Now let's get some information about what happened here. Inpixion announces the anticipated closing of the XTI merger and the share consolidation. XTI Aerospace will begin trading under ticker XTIA as of yesterday. And in conjunction with that, there is going to be a 1-in-100 reverse split. For every 100 shares you own, you're going to get one new share. That means you're going to have 99% of your shares taken away from you. You're not going to have very many shares. Now, the price does go up 100 times. So value-wise, you didn't pay anymore. They're still worth the same. But it means that every single share you bought, you paid more for, 100 times more. So if you bought it for $1, your average price now is $100 a share. Now, also in conjunction with this merger, they got $1.5 million equity financing that came into the picture as well. And those vertical lift airplanes cost $10 million a piece, and they have already got 700 conditional pre-orders for them. That is $7 billion worth of business waiting to happen if nobody backs out of their deal. 700 people want to spend $10 million for one of these vertical liftoff planes. Now, something you need to know is the share structure. They don't give it here, but I went looking it up. Let me see if I've got it right here. You can always find it inside this blue box. You come inside, just scroll down, and right here where it says stockholder equity, one of them will say common stock. It'll tell you how many shares are authorized, and then it'll give you shares. We have 111 million as of September of last year. 111 million divided by 100 leaves us an outstanding share count of 1.1 million. Outstanding. We have a super duper low float, folks. Now, there is a criteria on the NASDAQ. Your float cannot be any less than 1 million. I don't know what their float is, but they're on the cusp. They are right there at 1.1 million outstanding. If they have less than 1 million shares, they will have to put more shares on the market, or they could be removed from the NASDAQ and thrown back on the OTC. Wouldn't that be hell? So we've got a super duper low float with this company right now. Here recently, they just expanded their patent protection for this jet over in China, which really surprises me. China has very little respect for patents. So to see them get any protection for this in China, to me, is a real big deal. The last piece of thing I want to bring up is they had another merger with one of their subsidiaries called, I'm forgetting, Graffiti Holdings. Graffiti Holdings was being spun out onto the NASDAQ, and she is merging with Damon Motors, which is an electric motorcycle, big motorcycle, does 200 miles per hour, has 200 horsepower, 200 torque, and it's electric. And they are given a dividend for this, but the cutoff date was December 27th. You had to have your shares bought by then, and we're waiting. There is no more information. I got into that. I sold after December 27th, sold my shares. I should still qualify for my dividend. I should get free shares here soon when they actually spin it out onto the NASDAQ. Now, we've got a lot of companies that have had spinouts that just don't get there. HNRC, for particular, WDHI, over a year ago, they promised us shares for a spinout. The spinout hasn't gone, but they gave you the shares. You got them. They're just restricted and unregistered because there's no company yet. There's nothing on the market. So I am getting shares, but they're not going to be worth anything until this company gets on the market. So what was the relative volume around the company today under her new ticker? Well, they're not giving us an average because she's got a new ticker now, and they won't even show me what Inpixion's was, so I don't know. Today, though, We did 921,000 shares, less than 1 million. And I've got to presume that's a low number. Being on the NASDAQ, believe it or not, when you compare the volume on the NASDAQ to the volume on the OTC, 10, 20 times more volume being on the NASDAQ. Huge freaking difference. I make a big deal about companies doing 400 trades down here on the OTC. Up on the NASDAQ, they'll do 37,000 trades in one day. So there is a heck of a lot more activity and action up on those major exchanges. We already looked at the share structure, checked out the news, the financials. Ooh, we got numbers here. How about that? All right. The company's been making money, and I've got to presume this is XTI Aerospace and not Inpixion's numbers now. I don't know how this all lays out, so I'm just giving you the numbers that are here. We have been climbing every single year for the last 4 years. Currently, at the end of 2022, we were at 19.5 million and got to take home a nice chunk of that, about 13, 14 million. Quarterly, they're all over the place. We see this a lot. The last quarter of an annual report, you see a big jump. Don't know if they're balancing the books or doing something strange, but normally that's not par for the course. We see between 2 and 3 million as par for the course. And she's doing good. She's getting to bring home most of that in profit. Taking a look at the balance sheet. Lots of money in the bank, 13.5 million. We got 27.5 million in assets. Liabilities are less, 17.5 million. So we are holding stockholder equity in this company. The stock has value, $10.1 million. Disclosures, I don't know. POSAM. Let me check this. I think this has to do with shares, or is this a meeting? Commencement of proposed sale of securities, right? Which makes sense to me. Normally, when you get your outstanding share count that low, or if your float is too low, you're going to have to put more shares on the market. But there's a lot of information here, folks. Lots of promissory notes. I'm not sure what this is about. Some more due diligence would be necessary. So as you can see, there is a lot going on here. The biggest thing is that we've had this merger completed, and she's kicked herself up onto the NASDAQ, but she's taken 99 out of 100 of your shares. Now you're left with shares that cost a lot more. Now the price of the stock went up as well. But normally, after a reverse split, you have a lot of upset people because they lost their shares, their potential, and they start selling in spite of the price. And you end up with a big drop, and the price will fall. And all you can really do is wait for the floor to be found, and then buyers will start coming in saying, look at how cheap this is now. And that's when she starts to climb. So with that in mind, let's go see what the chart looks like for XTIA.
Okay, it does not look pretty, but we're going to talk about this a little bit. So yesterday we had the reverse split, the 1 in 100. So these Hakanashis look really crazy. You can see this huge drop. It looks like it was, $500 and now it's down to 2. Now remember, all that is going to be divided by the 100. So it was, $5, $4. So keep that in mind.
We're used to seeing a big green bar. If you watch this show, we talk about this a lot. They're adjusting charts now. Instead of showing the price going up 100 times, they bring the price down and then multiply everything behind it by 100. So if you had a $4 high one day, it now says $400 high that day.
Yeah, so it does that to adjust it. Now, I can't speak for every platform, but TradingView will absolutely do this. So if you are on TradingView, keep in mind that when you see this, if you didn't know anything about the stock split, if you didn't know, now I'm looking at the 4-hour, by the way. If you didn't know anything about this and you're looking, oh, it's 262, but just last week it was $500. Let's just buy in. That is not accurate at all. So let me just show you on candlesticks, regular candle. Look what this looks like. Okay, it just looks like it plummeted. All right, you would have to blow this way up to even
just see. Keep in mind when you're looking at the chart itself, the way it's laid out, that's accurate. You can trust the trend, but the number put to those bars, now you got to divide every one of them on this chart by 100 if you want to know what it really was on that day.
So
God, what a drop.
Yeah, so when you're looking at the real price, you really need to start here because all that doesn't even really make sense.
Yep.
But there was something else now that I observed, and I'd like to point this out real quick, if you don't mind.
No, please.
Um, yeah, so let me go back to this. Not that it really matters. So I looked at these earnings reports. Now we do have another one coming up next week. It's a week from today, March 21st. It might be off a day or two.
Okay.
It's just an estimate. Excuse me. So, sorry. Particularly these back here. Now, of course, don't look at the numbers are off, but right here we didn't even have like an estimate, but it wasn't even a positive earnings, but we did react to earnings. Look at this. We had quite an increase right after this earnings here. And this one here, and on a 4-hour chart, that was enough of an increase to, it's hard to determine because see, now you have to divide everything by 100, but you know, $6 up to $7.40, that's significant. So we are moving on earnings. So keep that in mind if you are one of those people
Bad
that,
earnings.
well, it was bad earnings, but we moved. We
Yeah, that's
did
what
have.
I'm saying. Even on bad earnings, it goes up.
Yeah,
So,
you know what I think it is that they could have had like good forward guidance. They could have said something. They've made announcements or whatever it is
right.
that people like. There was another one back here where I was like, wow, look, like that is crazy. This one was not very favorable. We had like, this is terrible, and it came down. But look over here, this one, bad earnings, but look what happened.
So where's it look like it's going right now? Because we got to move on to the next one.
Sorry
Surely
about
here.
that. I just like to point that out because a lot of people like to look at earnings. Okay,
Well, the
so
200 getting close. Oh, it
we're
was
not
getting
looking
close.
very good. And it's hard to say what we're doing because we just had this big old drop. And if you look at what is actually going on, it's just look at all these big red scary bars that are selling off. I mean, we went
Right.
from like after the stock split, we opened here at $5.20, came up to
So she's at
6.53.
an all-time low right now.
Yeah, closed at 349. It's a little tiny bit above its all-time low, but around 254 to
I
282.
myself think it's a good one to watch. You got a company that's got a hot product here with 700 orders standing in line,
Yeah.
$10 million a piece. That's $7 billion upon delivery. Now, I don't know when they're going to deliver them. It may start in 2025. Honestly,
Yeah.
you got to go through all the paperwork and read when they're going to get this in production. But there's
And even though it
potential
looked like
here.
yeah, it looked like we had this big drop, which it did, just but mostly because of that stock split. But we do have this earnings coming up now, so keep that in mind and
Yeah,
watch that. So that's just something else to look at. Other than that, these EMAs are going to be all messed up because
yeah.
we had that big drop. Everything's adjusted, so everything's going to look like it's just plummeting.
Yep.
So it's not super accurate. It's not a great chart to read right now. We're going to need more time to be able to read this a little better. So there you go on that. Next.
Next.
Yeah.
Got me up. Let me see here. I can't see without my other screen. There we go. All right. We are looking at MLPNF. This is Millennial Potash Corporation. They finished today at 16.5 cents roughly, up just a little more than 1%. On the middle tier of the OTC, the better tier, it's better than the pinks because you get validated information here. Pinks don't give you validated information. That's why I tell you to look for a validated verified profile and a verified transfer agent. It's the only validated information you get. Well, with the QBs, you get your financials audited. Those are real important. Those are factual, actual numbers you can use. They're fundamentals now. We can weigh the company up with them. So it definitely makes them more transparent and more trustworthy. They've got every green tick over here you could hope for. Independent directors are listed. When you list independent directors here, it means you're serious about uplisting. And they are penny stock exempt, which is a real good thing to look for in a stock. It means they're responsible and you should be able to trust them. They're not a startup company because they've been in business for 3 to 5 years, have had millions of dollars in either revenues or assets, and they've kept up with their financials. So they're doing what they're supposed to do on a long-term basis. So this company looks good in that regard. So what is Millennial Potash about? Well, I don't know if they call it mining or digging, accessing. They access potash. Now, potash, I thought I was familiar with this, is used primarily in fertilizers. Now, I think it was maybe a year and a half ago, we had a fertilizer shortage. I think it was during COVID when we couldn't get potash, which is 95% of what fertilizers are. So a lot of new fertilizers were coming onto the market and there was new sectors being created. Well, this company is making news right now. Let's see. They got lots of news here, and it is all about the same thing. It is about this Bonio Potash project. They did receive a private placement of just about $1 million at the beginning of December. And the most current piece of news we've got here came out on February 20th. I do believe I opened this up. On February 20th, the company filed a technical report called the Initial Mineral Resource Estimate for the North Target of Bonio Potash Project, which is in the Republic of Gabon. And they filed this with Zidar in compliance with the specific rule. And basically, they tell you how much they expect they can get, this, that, and the other thing. And they've dotted their I's and they've crossed their T's. Everything is moving forward. And since they did this and they did it properly, they have now secured themselves 51% of this property. So that's what's going on in the news, and I don't have any more details than that. The relative volume for the company, something's up here. Now, I'm not saying it's not trading. There are a lot of stocks on the OTC that receive absolutely no sales every day. I got lots of them. Yes, I do. Let me see. I'm going to refresh this page, see if it gets any bigger. Today's volume on the OTC was 3.9 billion. Total shares for all 12,400 companies. Lots of companies had nothing sold today. That could be the case here. I'm going to presume that, though it could be something else. But she has been under the radar doing about 6,000 shares a day for the last 30 days. Share structure for this company, not bad. We are looking at about 60 million outstanding. Well, that's August of last year. It's possible that could be an accurate float. I normally don't use it because it's normally outdated. I mean, really outdated. But this isn't too far back. It says they had 20 million back then. So maybe our float is 20 million. Market cap, we're at 9.5 million for this. Financials, nothing annually, nothing quarterly. We got no money coming in yet. They've got about 400,000 in the bank. Assets, they've got 4.5 million. With very little liabilities, only about $250,000. So this company with no revenues does have positive stockholder equity for us. We are holding, the investors are holding $4.3 million. Disclosures, I don't think we had anything. No, nothing here at all. So that's really all I see going on here. They have moved forward with this big project. And when you read in there, there's quite a lot of potash. Now, I don't know what a little potash and a lot of potash is, but the numbers are huge. And we did have, I don't know if we do anymore, a fertilizer shortage. But even if we don't have a shortage, we always need potash because we are always growing. We always need our fertilizer. So it sounds like a reliable business to me. So let's check out MLPNF on the charts.
Okay. Was there anything from like early February 2022 or even September 2022? I'm just curious.
2022.
Yeah.
Well, if it goes back that far, we'll be lucky. The news is, it just jumped there from 2021 from 2023. You can go ahead and do your charting.
Oh, no. Okay, sure. Hold on, let me share it.
I'll let you know if I find it because there's a lot.
No, I was just looking. So we haven't been around that long. This only came on March of 2021. That's not very long. So let me go on to 4 hour. So
it was the closest we get to your date is September of 2022. This is when they acquire the Bonio Potash project. That was the very first time they bring it up.
Okay, so September 2022 is right here when we went from about 19 cents all the way to 47 cents. So right there is that September 2022.
There you go.
So that is what was going on. And I was looking at these scary red bars to see if, like, you know, maybe this is a pickup area, but when I go in closer, this is all pre-market. All of these are pre-market, so we can't trade those because this is an OTC one.
Right.
But this
Right.
is kind of like, I see this as kind of like a pickup area a little bit. Now, some of these were not pre-market, but so is this. A lot of this is pre-market, a lot of it. So let's drop it down to the 1 hour and see what's going on. This was that September 2022. So this news, this was like, and it jumps. See, you see this here? I don't know if you can see this right here where I am right here, September 2022, and then it jumps to February 2023. So there was a lot of days when we had no trading at all. So this is a very weird chart to read. You see that
Right.
down
Yeah.
here at the bottom here?
Yeah.
Yeah, so something's, it's a very difficult chart to read. So
Good catch.
yeah, so let's just kind of zoom in a little more so we can maybe see what's going on. See, the 15-minute looks even, it just looks so similar. So like here's December 2023, January, February, just now
I don't
March.
like it.
And this is the 15-minute. So this is really strange here. We're not seeing a whole lot of volume. We're not seeing, like, it's not, because here's, you know, March 6th, March 8th, March 11th, and that's it. And this is the 15-minute. So this is a very strange
Did you
one.
have a jump on the 20th of February?
20th of February of what?
This year, just a month ago.
21st of February right here, yeah, and 20th, yeah, so right here.
Not impressed. That was when they announced they had 51% of Bacino. So if you had that huge jump 2 years ago in September, and now, you know, it's like, all right, now we've actually got it. I mean, they acquired it, but did they?
There's that February.
Yeah, so
we're going from like 17 to 20 cents. It's not like a huge one like we had back here. Like this one was, this is the one I was talking about. I mean, this was insane. This was excellent right here. But since then, we're just kind of hanging out in this shaded area, and this bottom shaded area, maybe we should just forget that because all this was pre-market. So we're kind of in this area. The 200 on the 15-minute is way up here, and we're going down. So I'm not really loving this chart. There's a lot of missing data. What was that?
What's the 5-minute look like for day traders?
Same. It look 15, and then there's 5. Look at that, 15, 5. Not much different. There's not a lot of extra data
at all. It looks like she's still in a downtrend. She hasn't found her floor yet. I would expect her to come right back down to where you've got that last support drawn.
And if you want to see something even scarier, here's what the regular candles look like. And if you take away all these, you know, all these, this is what we're looking at, regular candles. This is.
And what a dash means is it took one sale to get there. Bink.
Yeah, there's nothing going on. It's really hard to see.
Looks like a cemetery. Bunch of
it looks very weird. Yeah, so we're gonna have to go back to Heikinashi here so we can actually see what's going on. And the data's skipping around. It's missing days. This is a very difficult chart to read. That's the best I can do here, you guys.
It has potential down the road, but I don't see anything in the short run for a day trader.
I don't either. The 15 and the 5 look identical, and that's very strange. So that's about all I got for that one. So
Next, maybe you can find out who brought us Liquid Metal Technologies, ticker LQMT. She too is on that middle tier of the OTC, the QB. She's got her validated information over here, both of them. Nope, I thought she did. We are missing the verified profile, but she is penny stock exempt. I'll take penny stock exempt over verified profile any day. She finished the day just about 6 cents, and she was down almost 1% today. So this is a U.S. company out of California. They have got a interesting business here. It's like blow mold with plastics, except they're using metal. This isn't molten metal, it's liquid metal. And obviously you can pour it into a mold and it hardens, but you can also make hollow things like plastic. You put two pieces together, pour it in, and then blow air in, and it blows all the metal to the outside. And they are making precision stuff with this. And they're finding all different ways to use it, not just for blow molding, but just for simple stuff like you see here in the picture. And there's lots of companies who are interested because these parts are very precise, very, very precise. What else did I learn about this? Right. It was a little bit ago. Let's see when it was. This Form 4 came out on November. I was just pointing it out because there's not a lot of information here. There was a purchase made by Chung Tony. He's the chief executive officer. He made two purchases here, one for 150,000 and one for 789,000 shares, roughly 1 million shares at roughly a half a penny. So we did have an inside buy back then. Was there anything else I had? Nothing jumping out at me here. So let's take a look at some basic information for the company. Relative volume, well, it's almost double. Actually, it's more than double. She was doing 412,000 shares a day. Today, she's just about 1 million. Share structure for the company. Let's see here. We are at 917 million shares, just shy of 1 billion. That's old, right? That's December of 2022. They tell us back then it was just a little over 500 million shares in the float. Maybe it is, maybe it's higher. I don't know. Market cap for the company, we're at about 55 million. Financials for the company. Well, they've been dropping here over the last few years and just now started to come back up. They are making profits every single year. Quarterly, again, they were dropping, but they are now on a comeback. And this last quarter of December 2023 was their strongest quarter out of the last year. It's more than double the quarter before. So they are growing right now in revenues. We can see that. Taking a look at their balance sheet, they got money in the bank, $8.5 million. Total assets, 32 million. Total liabilities, only 1.1 million. So this company has stockholder equity. We have got profits of 31 million roughly for the investors to divvy up. Disclosures. I'm thinking I forgot something. It seems like there was something I wanted to share here that I'm forgetting.
I'm not sure, but I got a question for you. Well, do we have any news from about 4 months ago, November 2023?
November 2023. Well, November 20. That's when November 2023 is the inside buy that I just shared with you. That came out on that day. Great. And let's see over here. 2023, February 2020. Nope, that's March. Nope. So that would be it. It would be that filing. We got a lot of conference calls here. We just missed their last one, which was on March 12th. But what's this say?
That's
2023.
Yeah, 2023. We don't have.
Yeah, we only got one piece of news here.
Oh, okay.
And it was only about a conference call, which just passed. Maybe there is a recording of it and you can catch it, somewhere at one of these links, maybe. So this is an interesting company that is working with liquid metal. Oh, I remember what it is. Aha, I knew there was something else. This company got a contract with Apple back in 2010. They got paid $20 million for the contract. Apple licensed their liquid metal for their electronics. Now, I don't know if this is what they're doing or not, but I know there's this liquid metal out there that when electricity hits it, it changes form. It moves. It doesn't just stay in the one form it's in. And every single phone out there has it. It's on the camera. That's how the lens works. And when electricity hits it, the lens opens up and your metal becomes liquid inside your phone. Well, there's a couple different things where the shape of the metal changes when they put electricity into it. It goes to an entirely different shape. So rather than having a switch, it just changes. It becomes something different. I don't know if that's what it is, but they do have that. They also added a couple new facilities where they're now able to make things 3 times bigger than they used to make them, and they can make them for 1/3 the cost that they used to make them. So they are making headway, but there aren't any new deals that I have seen. I did do a Google search. That's how I came up with that information. Okay. So did we cover everything here? We did. All we got left is that magical chart for LQMT.
Oh, it is magical. It is magical. Let me share this. Sorry, I'm a little delayed today because yeah.
Yeah.
Because yeah. So this is why I was asking about November, because we kind of like consolidated here for about a month, and then look at this.
Wow.
Yeah, and I'm on regular candles, by the way. I just wanted to see what we're doing. So
So what
sometimes
was
I
that
look at
jump? From what to what roughly?
So we were kind of consolidating around like the 3.5 cents area all the way up to 7 cents. So more than
Cool.
100% jump there.
Yep.
So that's why I was
Yeah.
interested in that. I'm not sure if it had anything. I mean, they didn't report any earnings, but it might have been, they might have announced something
Well,
that
as I
day.
said, you had the insider buy on that
Oh,
day.
okay. So that
One
might have been
million
it.
shares bought by the CEO.
So we kind of like, hung out in this area. We were above this. Now I'm on the 4-hour, everybody. So we were above this 200, and look at this nice 200. We kind of even raised up, and
Yeah,
now
it's
look,
climbing now.
now look where we are here. It's kind of like looking bull flagish.
Yeah,
Let's
I'm liking
go.
the SMAs going into those golden crosses. We
Yeah,
are on an uptrend. It looks like a breakout to me.
it does. So now I'm on Hikanashi, still on 4-hour. Now look at all these. We got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, at least 3 golden crosses, unless I'm
Right?
yeah, 3.
Yeah.
So we're not totally lined up perfectly, but that's good. So the white is the 9, this is the
The
50,
50
this
is
is the
turning
21.
right now.
We're
Yeah,
looking
yeah.
really nice. Let's look at the 1-hour. Okay,
And it's
so
right at that strong support too.
yeah, yeah, we're looking really, really nice here. So we've got a nice support right around around this area, like around the 5.5, 6 cents area. I think if we drop below that, but I think that we could bounce right off of here. This is the 21 here. We're a little bit below the 9 on the 1-hour, but I think that's totally okay. I think this is just a healthy pullback. Personally,
Yeah, it
I
looks
mean,
like it's going to bounce off to 20.
yeah,
She was riding on that 20. You can see
uh-huh.
down there when she was under the 200, she was bouncing on the 20. So I expect her to expect it again and get a
I
good
do
bounce
too.
off that.
I do too. And look at this right here. We had a perfect bounce off of this 200, and look how perfectly flat we're doing. This is
Yeah.
fantastic here. I really, really like this chart. So for day traders, let's go to the 15-minute, and we're kind of just hanging out here, bouncing around this area, which is totally, totally fine. We could absolutely just break out again.
Yeah, she was going sideways,
And that's
waiting.
okay. Yeah.
She's waiting for an SMA to catch up to her. She could have fallen down to it, but it looks like she waited patiently because she's not weak. She's strong.
These are starting to meet. This is okay. And a lot of people, oh, sideways action is boring, but you know what? We're not falling, and that's a good thing. So we are
Right.
we are holding this really nice support right around this 5-6 area, and that's a great sign.
Well, she's
So
right
for
at the point where she needs to be put on a watch list because
Oh
this
yeah.
is the
Oh yeah,
decisive
for
point
sure.
right
Because
there.
I mean, we are coming up here, and we're well above this. Like
Yep.
I'm on Heikenashi's again, so this looks really weird. But we were in this consolidation area for a while, and we're above that now. So we can just, I mean, we could definitely come back up here. I
Yep.
mean, look what happened last time. We could come back up to that 7 cents area. It doesn't sound like a lot, but I mean, that's a percentage gain. So.
Absolutely.
This
So
is
put it on your
definitely
watch list, folks. This one is worthy of watching. We're looking for an entry, so you're looking for 2 or 3 green bars to start climbing after a couple red bars down for a change of trend. Don't just buy on the red. You should be buying on a green.
Yeah, I don't know if they announced something on the 12th of March. That was just a couple days ago. They don't have any earnings mentioned, but they could have announced something that day, and
Maybe on
that's why
Twitter or
it
something, but
started to jump.
there's no
What was
press
that?
releases or filing, so it would have to be somewhere
Okay.
else hidden.
Yeah. So I'm really, really liking this chart. I think this is definitely watch list worthy. This is a good one, especially compared to the couple that I just saw a minute ago. I was like, I don't really know, but I like this.
All right, we're gonna
Very
move to
much.
the next one now. I can
Yep,
see you're
next. Sorry about that. Okay, I've been
you
liking to
didn't
talk.
want to leave
I
it.
didn't get to talk last week, so
Right.
you're on.
We're on. This is, I'm going to call it SHMN. It's just easier. SHMN. This is SOM Incorporated. She's on the pink tier of the OTC, the bottom tier without any validated information, but she's got hers. She's got her verified profile and transfer agent. That's the best you're going to get.
Oh, crap.
Price, we're down there. Oh, crap.
Oh, no. Never mind. Oh, forget I said anything.
You.
Forget it. Forget it.
Our price is at 0014. That's a good price. Get the 003. That's 100% gains. And let me tell you, folks, that is a smidge of a move on the chart.
I thought I had the wrong ticker up.
What is, we hear you. SHMN is a generic pharmaceutical manufacturer that produces and markets generic drugs covering all major treatment categories. You know, that's got to be big business. The global headquarters is located in North America with manufacturing sites in Southern California. Generic pharmaceuticals were exported globally with a focus on distribution in emerging markets in Africa, Latin America, and Southeast Asia. I got to figure that's big business. Cheap drugs that are like the expensive drugs are what most of us are buying. And if you can sell them all around the world, you must be selling a lot of them. So what did I come up with for this company? We got a lot of news there. Do I jump into that? I do. So let's just start with that news. First thing I noticed was back here in September, and the reason I bring this up is because it's the most current piece of news too. SOM announces it has acquired PWDY, a world-class gene editing platform which can deliver genetic payloads using non-viral vectors. And then in November, the company's Self-Care launches a suite of 13 new SOM nutrient brand chewables. So they're not just an R&D company. They've actually got products that they're selling as well. SOM announces a new CDMO GMP manufacturing facility in Carlsbad, California. And SOM files provisional patent on PWDY's smart gene editing that uses the latest enzymes and guide RNA to resolve off-target gene editing limitations. So they tell us here that PWDY is a world-class gene editing platform which can deliver genetic payloads using non-viral vectors. Currently, just this, gene editing, this market currently is worth $5.3 billion. They say by the year 2028, it's going to be worth about $11 billion. Overall, though, the entire market, the global biotechnology market, is at almost $600 billion in 2022. There is a lot of money in the medical sector, folks, a ton of money. Now, this is probably going to be big business. This gene splicing, we know Bill Gates was getting into it a while ago. It is going to be very innovative. It kind of scares me. I don't know what they're going to do with it. You know, they're going to splice genes. Hopefully, they're working to get rid of diseases that set in people and get passed on inheritably and stuff like that. So obviously they have good intentions, but DNA splicing, if done wrong or done with wrong purpose, God only knows what you could end up with here. Seriously.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, seriously, you know, these aliens that come from space that abduct us, well, they don't have any gender. They're neuter. Well, we never see them come from outer space. We don't have any telescope seeing them come. Maybe they're coming from inner space. Maybe they're coming from the future. Maybe they're us coming back from the future before we screwed up ourselves with DNA and are trying to get good DNA before we messed it up. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud here. Wasn't that entertaining? So what was the relative volume around the company today? She dropped more than half of what she normally does, going from 2.7 down to 1 million shares today. Share structure. Oh, lots of shares. 1.6 billion shares. That's about half of all the shares they have. Insiders have about 330 million, which isn't bad, but we got a lot more. We got about 1.3 billion shares on our float. Market cap. We are only at $2 million right now. Financials for the company. They're making money. They've been doing relatively about $3,500. That is $350,000 every year. And they're bringing home about $180,000 yearly. Quarterly, well, something changed. They were doing about $100,000 down to $50,000 every quarter. this last quarter, they went over 250,000. That is 300% increase from the quarter before. That's a big increase. And I expect gene editing to be a big thing. I mean, you're not going to find any sales on gene editing. That's going to be an expensive thing all the time. So we've got profit coming in. Balance sheet, not much money in the bank, $116,000. Not much assets either. That surprises me. $860,000. And we've got more liabilities, more than double, $1.7, $1.8 million. So we are holding just about $1 million of deficit in this company. Disclosures. We don't have a single disclosure since 2012. Not one S8 or anything. But
do we have any news from August 2023?
Going to the news right now.
Oh, okay.
August 2023 would be 8. There's a 9. There's a 9. 8. We have August 8th. We have the appointment of Dr. David Algor.
Okay.
And on the 24th of August, we have, they're still talking about him.
Early August.
You have big news at the very beginning of August. August 1st, they sign a letter of intent to acquire stem cell disruptive technology and patents. I wonder if this is Abby or if they couldn't even mention it. But there it is, Abby. So that was the first time that they mentioned Abby, and they didn't even put it in the headline. They just dropped it inside the news.
Well, it was significant, so that's good.
Yeah, that's significant. And recent news, the most recent news we have here came out on the 9th. Sohm files provisional patent on Abby's smart gene editing, which we just looked at. So they've got a patent on it, and I'm sure patents are going to be a big deal. CRISPR is the other one. I don't know a whole lot about CRISPR. That's the one that Bill Gates was getting into. There's a lot of due diligence that you can do on gene editing, but it is the way of the future. And if they hook AI up with gene editing, working with DNA, honestly, I just can't imagine what we may be able to do. Jeez. Did we cover everything there? I do believe we did. Yes? Okay. Let's go take a look at the chart.
I'll say, yeah, sure. Okay, so a couple things. We got the 4-hour chart here, and this is Heikin-Ashi. So this is why I was asking, because we had this big spike in volume, and we started out around 0006 and ended up at 0012. So that's what, 100% gains right there.
Yes, it is 100%. Boom.
So I drew this line here at this 0012. You can see this resistance, and then we turned into then we turned into support.
That's good.
And also down here, this was late last year. Oh, look at the support here on this 200 here. I mean, this is excellent support here. So I like to look at the big picture. Now here we are now. We're still seeing that support right here. It kind of comes below it, but it comes right back up. We're right above that. Now, if we zoom in a little bit, you can see all these SMAs are kind of fighting each other. They're trying to converge. They're all together right here. So we're just above that support at 0013. All right. So let's look at the 1 hour and see what we're doing. Doesn't look too much different. I'd like to see this above here. Obviously, we're below this. This was a support for a little bit. Now it's like resistance. I mean, it's really respecting these supports and resistance here. But we got all the way up to, and this was just less than a couple months ago, end of January, 0023. So that's almost 100% from where we are now. So I like that. Let's go down to the 15 minutes, see what we're doing. And these are still Heikin-Ashi. Oh, look at this. Support. Now we are really, really respecting that 0012 here. Now it's showing 0014. This could be like just some after hours weird movement. All these SMAs EMAs besides the 200 were all together right here. So this could go either way.
And they are climbing right now.
Mm-hmm.
So they're supporting each other in a push up. We do have a big green bar starting to show that press. I'm looking down at your oscillators. I never know if they're calibrated
or not. This
I don't
one,
even know how to calibrate. Mine are automatically calibrated.
oh no,
Just
so I mess with mine all the time. So the what you call this one, the MACD is always messed up. This is like this is like a crossover RSI. This one's a better RSI. We're crossing over in a good way here.
right.
This one's not very calibrated. It's not real good. Kind of
Yeah, I see a
converging.
lot of sideways action. There's no determination where she wants to go yet. But
There's
as you
not.
said, she looks like she doesn't want to go any lower than that strong support at
It's
0012.
Yeah, it's a great support here. That's excellent news. But I like this the 4 hour is my favorite here because we're really trying to fight and get above that like we did up here. Because what I liked is over here, it was such a perfect support, almost perfect. And this was a resistance, and now it's support. So you see that a lot with charts. You see that the resistance becomes support. So this 0012 is an excellent support here. So let's keep an eye on that and see if we can. And I don't like that this is about to cross the other way, but
Right, you're going to have to wait for that 50 to cross to 200 and
yeah,
swing around and then
yeah,
start
yeah.
to come back up. And that's normally where you'll look for your buy-in when she starts riding the SMAs back up.
Yeah, because a lot of these, as you know, these are delayed. I've got
It's history. It's not.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
not
yeah.
projecting anything. We're
A
doing
delayed
the
indicator. It's a lagging indicator. Sorry about that. But here we go. We got golden cross here. We got almost one here. It's not looking terrible. I don't hate it. This is a good watch list one. This has got such great support here that I like that. And we're just barely above it. And when I say barely, I mean, even from when you're doing the 00 and the 000, just a few little, the fourth digit, third digit, that's quite a bit of a percentage.
All right. Hate to cut you off, hon, but we still got
Oh
more
my
to go.
goodness. Okay. You can't even let me talk today. No, I'm just kidding.
There's only so much you can say about a chart going sideways.
Next.
Okay, we are looking at MMEX.
Oh,
This is MMEX resource. She finished
okay.
at finished. Oh my God, she hasn't even started. She's at 0001, the absolute lowest price you can buy a stock for on the open market. Wow. And you rarely ever get a chance to really buy it because the price is normally 0002 if it's at 0001. But every now and then you can get it, and you can get 1 million shares at this price for $100. She is on the pink tier. She's current. She's got one piece of verified information, our transfer agent verified. That's all we got. So what is this company about? Well, I don't really like this description here, so I've jumped over to their website, and they've got big plans, folks. This is what they say. We are among the first movers in the nascent hydrogen industry with our portfolio alone of over $2 billion in projects in the Permian Basin of West Texas. Our projects will produce hydrogen from renewable power, convert that hydrogen to a product that can easily be transported, such as ammonia, as needed, and then recrack it back to hydrogen on the other end of the supply chain so it becomes hydrogen again. Now, they are going to be working with green hydrogen, which is the purest hydrogen you can make. There is no carbon even produced making green hydrogen, and they're going to convert that to ammonia. Most of this, which is going to be 209,000 tons, is earmarked for export to Europe. They are also going to be working with blue hydrogen. Blue hydrogen is one step above green. It does produce some CO2, but they capture it. They find a use for that CO2. Again, you can convert this to ammonia and then convert it back. They are also going to be working with the U.S. steel companies. We are in discussions with potential partners to reassemble an internationally located DIR facility that has been idle and move it to our Permian Basin site. This DIR facility plans to utilize our production of green hydrogen to fire the DIR facility for production of green DIR for shipment to the U.S. steel production. And then they've got some deal over here with the port of Corpus Christi. They're trying to build some sort of pipeline you know, like they had for the Alaskan pipeline. I don't know a whole lot about it, but they're trying to build a pipeline down there, which will make it even easier to move around than having to convert it to hydrogen or ammonia and then back to hydrogen. So that's what they are working on. Where exactly they are in all of that? Well, the news tells us the most recent piece of news, the only piece of news we have for 2024, MMEX Resources Corporation, a leading clean energy company, has achieved several new milestones to bring clean energy to the market. What they are doing is working on the offtake, which is the back end. If we produce it, will you buy it? Promise? Sign a contract. All right, now we've got deals in place. Let's go build our facility and start making this stuff. So you get your orders first. You make sure you're not wasting your time building something you're not going to be able to sell. So that's what they've been doing here. And they've got a bunch of orders that they have put together with Union Pacific and Texas Pacifico and other people. You can get all that information right here. Relative volume for the company today was up. She jumped from 20.5 million to 36 million. Good for her. Share structure. Oh my God. Woohoo. We got a lot of shares here, folks. Authorized shares. They got 25 billion shares they could put on the market. Right now, they got 9.4 billion on the market. The good news is they own a ton of them. 2.8 billion is owned by the insiders. We get all the rest. Lucky us, we get 6.6 billion shares in the float. And with all those shares, you'd think you'd have a big market cap because all you do is multiply the share count times the price. Well, when you're that low in price, you don't even make $1 million market cap with almost 10 billion shares. Financials. We got any money here? No, not on the annual. Nothing on the quarterlies. We do get a balance sheet. Well, kind of. We got no money in the bank. None. We got 1 million in assets. And we got 4.2 million in liabilities. So the investors are carrying 3.1 million in deficit for this company. We're lucky the price is at 0001 right now. Yeah. Disclosures. What do we got here? 8K, that was on the 5th. Let's just peek in. Let's just see what it is. Regulations, posted a letter to the shareholders. What? You got a question?
No. I'm not saying anything.
Oh, you did. You mumbled, and I thought, oh, she's got a question. This is right where I get
it. I'm not feeling the greatest. I'm good.
All right. I don't see anything in this 8K that we have to worry about. So that pretty much covers all the information for the company. They're making headway. You know, I don't know where they are in this facility. Maybe if you dive around looking through Google, you might find some articles from hydrogen publications and periodicals that'll tell you more. Because it looks like they're building a facility. They're going to bring it from overseas, brick by brick, some castle over here, and they're going to build it over here and start working with all these different type of hydrogens, which I believe is the ultimate goal for the world, not just America. Hydrogen is everywhere. It's in everything. You don't have to rip up the ground to get it. Its byproduct is water and air, so we're not going to do any harm using it. It's virtually a free power if we would just start to tap into it. So I think hydrogen has a huge market in the future. Right now, it's still in its infancy stage. So let's take a look now at ticker MMEX.
All right. Well, you're going to not like this because I'm going to show a couple different things here. So I'm just going to show you. This was from a little more than a year ago. We were at 2 cents, and look what happened. But I did a little more research way back here. We have a 1 for 10,000 reverse split in 2021. That is insanity. So let's just look at what's going on right now. This is a very barcode-y chart.
Which means if you had bought 1 million shares for $100 and they did a 1 in 10,000 reverse split, you would be left with 10,000 shares. That's what a reverse, and it still cost you $100.
Crazy. Okay. So this line right here, I could have color coded this, but I don't have time, is 0001. Okay. So that's what you were saying right here. This list line at the bottom is zero. Literally zero. This is quadruple 05, which I don't think you can even buy. So we're at or it's quintuple 05, excuse
No,
me. So we're
your
we're at
your regular investors cannot, but they are sellable and they are buyable at those prices for brokers and marketers. And I do know a couple of websites, brokers that will put in orders for you. Like some stocks on the expert market are 5 zeros and a 1, and they'll put in an order for you.
Quadruple 05. Sorry about that. This is 0001. 0001 here. This is 4 zeros and a 5. This is 0 down here. That's
really everything below that line is not our concern.
Yeah. Forget about this. But there for a while, we were barcoding between 0001 and 0002, like from October until January. This is what we were looking.
That's what happens. That's why I don't look at them at that price, because what are they doing?
This is weird. Yeah. So, I mean, I guess if you were to be lucky enough to get it at the 0001 and then sell it at 0002, you got 100%. But you don't forget you have to pay these fees with the OTC. So, there were a couple times we bounced up here. But if you look at this other chart, like I showed a second ago, I mean, it's just like.
So where is it right now? Is it underneath that? On the 5-minute, it looks like it's not even in the buy range.
5-minute, this is what it looks like. It just doesn't even look normal.
It looks like it's still got 1 foot in the grave.
It does. The highest it is right now since, all week, all month, 0001. You can't even buy it for lower than that. Is that correct?
Right. We cannot ever buy it cheaper than that on the open market. Never.
This is it. It hasn't seen above 0001 since January.
Wow.
This is what we're looking at. This is 0001 right here. This line here. This big white line.
Do me a favor, if you're still watching, drop a comment in there. Why did you pick this stock? What is it about this stock?
I'll thicken it up.
We're doing a superficial look. You must have saw something in it. So if you could drop a comment in there, we'd sure appreciate it, because right now this doesn't even look watch list worthy.
Yeah, because here back in October through December, we were barcoding between 0001 and 0002.
Yeah, it's never gone that. That's all we got. It's been bouncing, and she's fallen, and she's not gotten back up.
That's the 5-minute. I mean, this is insane.
I don't want to waste any more time on this.
Okay, next. I'm done.
That sucks. That was the worst chart I've seen in a year. It was. That's
your turn.
I'm trying to get to my page here. All right. MMEX. PWDY. We'll call this PWDY. This is PWDY International at 00115. What a nice price. She is up 130%. Yay. We got a hot penny stock here. Up 130% on the pink tier. Current. Only got one piece of validated information, the transfer agent. Now, the first thing I noticed about this company is this is not what they are about. PWDY International is a development stage company planning to build and lease electrical generation technology and equipment. Not even close. Jumped over here to their website, PWDY. Jumped to this website too. They both go to the same place, right here. What does the company do? They make brush and brushless motors. These servo motors that you see everywhere, we've had forever, that's what they make. For all kinds of different industries, they make motors. They also make picture frames. That's their other subsidiary. So no, they're not creating power. I looked around to see if maybe this was outdated. No, this is what they do. As a matter of fact, I think there's a piece of news here where they are expanding their motor end of their business. So let's see if I have any more information as we go through the general information. See, now this is what was very curious. Look at that explosion in volume. You're going from 3 million up to 212 million. There has to be a catalyst somewhere. Share structure. Well, it isn't in that. I'll tell you that much. At 1.8 billion in our outstanding, 1.1 billion in the float. That's huge. Again, we are under 1 million in our market cap. Financials, anything to get excited about? Maybe. That's a huge jump from $48,000 in 2021 to $1.2 million. Now, that's not a huge number, but that is a huge jump. and they increased their profit by tenfold. Quarterly, they've even keeled out now. They're doing between $300,000 and $400,000 every quarter, and their profit margins are bouncing around here for some reason. Balance sheet, they got nothing in the bank. They're going to have a hard time paying their employees with $8,000. Total assets, just over $250,000. Total liabilities, well, that's not very high either, $337,000. So we are holding a wee bit of deficit, about $63,000, but it's kind of funny. There's just nothing here. They don't have a lot of money anywhere, not in the bank, not in property, not in assets, not in liabilities. There's just not a lot of money around this company selling motors and selling picture frames. See what we have here for the news.
Selling motors and selling picture frames.
Yep, that's what they sell.
Okay.
That's what I say. They just got motors and picture frames.
All
and they've
righty.
been doing this for quite a while.
Okay.
Let's see. Disclosures. We got an 8K here. It's the only thing that came out this year. They changed their accountant. They got a new accountant. I don't know what that's going to change. So I don't see anything here. Now, we could, real quick, I don't think there's anything there, but I'm jumping over to, not Twitter.
Sorry.
It happens. All right. So I'm going to put in PWDY, see if we come up with anything here, see if they have their own thing. Currently evaluating local motor manufacturing companies as well as potential acquisition candidates, which will increase our market presence in the medical, robotic, and unmanned vehicle sectors, in addition to providing new market opportunities. Now, I did see this earlier. I remember coming over here. There is no PWDY Twitter account. And I was trying to find that. Where did he find that? Because when I come over here, that is the color of this page, right? Right there. So would it be under investors relations, under one of the pieces of news? Because I'll tell you what, folks, there are some people, and I'm not accusing anybody right now, but there are people who will post news from 2 years ago purposely not putting in the date, which is right there. They'll cut that out, and they'll post about a merger or some deal, which is so ancient, has nothing. And it's like they're trying to pump the stock. So I don't know where this piece of information comes from. I can see it's the same color as the website. So I'm presuming it came from the website. But how current is it? I don't know. Outside of that, I have no other information except I did read this. People are watching the charts. On Twitter, you get a lot of action on a stock just because of the chart setup, just because of technicals, especially these 000 stocks. People like to see a big whale purchase come in, $1 million or something. It's like $1 million is only $100. Don't get so excited. Well, that's what you got here. You've got a couple of big orders coming in, over 1 million shares. Well, here it's $1,000 at 001. That's not a giant whale order. It's not enough to get excited about. But you'd be amazed how many people get excited. Look at that. 892 people looked at that post. 892. My average post gets about 300 views. So there you go. So I don't see anything else going on about this except that people are watching the charts. It must be doing something that looks
Were there
deep.
any news from June 2023?
We got no news listed here at all.
Never mind. All right.
But I can check the disclosures. There could obviously have been something 2023, June.
Well, June, yeah. I mean, less than a year ago.
We have two. We have a financial, which came out at the very end of the month. And then at the beginning of the month, we had a Form 4.
That was probably it. All right.
Well, it's not a purchase or a sale. The insider is the CEO. And there are about 4, 5, 6 million shares involved at 001. They were acquired at the perfect price, but he did not buy these. He got them for another reason, and I can't seem to determine what the reason is on this form. It has to have a P or an S for purchase or sale. Any other letter, they got them or got rid of them, some other reason. But that did happen. They moved a lot of shares on that day. You can go ahead and show us the chart now, hon.
Okay. Hold on. Okay, so I'm just going to show you the daily real quick. This is what I was talking about. We went from around 0008 all the way to 003. So that happened within just a matter of, a week.
That's over 300% run.
I know, it's pretty nice. So I'm gonna
yeah, that's kind of nice.
Wait. Here we go. Okay, so here's the latest. This is a 4-hour chart. So I highlighted this just because we were hitting that 200. We were on this downtrend. Nice support here at the 0005. I know that's real low, but it good support. Good support.
Yeah.
Had a little bounce there and January, but then look what happened here. This is probably why it's catching a lot of attention. Obviously, we just blew right on past that.
Oh yeah.
So let's look at 1 hour and see what we're looking at.
Looking for the giant at the top of that beanstalk.
Yeah, this is we're on Hakinashi. This is looking really, really nice. So I think let me see, what did I have that tall?
I like the way that wick came all the way down today and just tapped. It looks like it's the 9-day. That, all you got to do is tap an SMA. You don't have to come all the way back down and sit on it. A lot of times you just tap it and it'll let you run again.
Yeah, I mean, we tapped that and
right there could be enough to have her launch without coming all the way back down.
Yeah, so we open here, close here, we wicked down, but we did close up here, so we came back up. So a lot of people don't realize. So that's pretty good. Let's see what 15-minute looks like. Yeah, see, look at that. We came down. This is VWAP right here, and then now we're coming right back up. This looks nice. I like the way this looks. It does
worthy for sure.
Looks really bullish right now. It definitely watch list worthy. All these EMAs look great. Here's the 921. They're very close. 50, 200. That's looking real nice. It's a 5-minute. Yeah, look at that. We got a little sideways action came down and we touched the VWAP. A lot of people don't look at that, but I do. And then we're coming back up. We're above the 9. We're above the 50, we're at the 21, and then this 200 looking real flat. We're way above it. This is looking real nice, and we're over 100% above this support level. So there we go, looking really nice. This has gotten a nice run over the last last day. This is today, so this is why this caught attention. This is the 5-minute here,
right? And it's fallen off of that surge. Less than 50%, found herself a floor high up, and she's just moving to the next level now. She's stepping up. It's looking nice.
I mean, it looks like we're at 0011 now. Here is like the 0013. We're really close to that. I mean, we could come right back up here and maybe even continue. So this looks real nice. I like this. Good stock here. Good find, whoever did this. All right, so I'll let you move on.
We got lots of people that are showing up here. I sure appreciate you guys. Joel
Maybe it's because I'm hurrying up a little bit.
The Underdog. T. Rick is taking notice of your charting. He's definitely watching you. Who else we got here? I see a few people here. Travis. Hello, Travis. We mentioned HNRC. I haven't seen anything about WDHI. All right. We have one more stock I definitely want to tag on to. This was brought to me by T. Rick. T. Rick actually brought this to me the other day through a instant message from somebody else. Now, where is it? Right here. Now, there's not a lot I'm going to be able to show you with this company. The CEO of the company put out a podcast the other day, and I didn't even get a chance to finish it. It is on Twitter. It is a long one. The first 5 minutes, you're going to have to fast forward through. They had some technical difficulties, nothing there. But after that, you don't want to miss it. Folks, if you are into AI, if you are really wanting to look for a company that's all about AI, IDKFF, 3D Capital is there. She finished today at 36 cents. She was up 12.5% today on the best tier of the OTC, the QX. It's the best because they give you all the information they have about the company. They could be on the major exchanges. They give you so much information. So this is the most trustworthy, the most transparent, and they've got everything going on over here, including penny stock exempt. So they look good. So what I want to do is just tell you what I heard the other day, and this is going to blow your mind. I'll try to keep this as brief as I can. The company is involved in at least 70 different AI companies. I don't know if they own any subsidiaries, but they are invested 20%, 30%. In his own words, he says they do not invest in any company that is not carrying the potential of 50 to 100 times their investment back. That's what they're looking for. He opened it up by saying, let me tell you about the first two companies we have. I'm going to call them golden unicorns. A unicorn is a company that's going to be worth $1 billion. They say these two companies are going to be worth $1 trillion each. Who says? Google says the first one is going to be worth $1 trillion. It is with micro payments. Now, you've heard of micropayments before, but not like this. The other idea, which goes hand in hand, I can't talk about one without the other, is called hyperscale. I think it's called hyperscale. It is a new internet for AI. All the AIs will be able to go here and talk to each other, learn from each other, so they aren't just boxed into these little tiny arenas that we put them in. I don't know if that's good or bad, but that's what they want to do. Now, because they do this, they are going to be able to move information so quick, so easily, so efficiently that micropayments are going to be something you just aren't going to believe. You do a credit card purchase, it costs you 50 cents to use that credit card because this guy gets some money, this guy gets some money. Now it'll cost you a half a penny. Maybe you want to watch a movie at Netflix, but you don't have an account with Netflix and you don't want to get a monthly payment. You just want to watch that one movie. Well, maybe you can just pay 10 cents and watch that one movie through the micropayment. And this can be used in a lot of different ways, save people a lot of money, bring prices down. It can be good. Then you've got that AI internet. Well, it needs to be built. When they started building the internet, we needed computers. There is no internet if you don't have computers to hook it to. So they've come out with this AI box. I don't know if it's Hypercube or what it is, but you can rent one of these boxes. They said right now they're $100 a month. Hold on. And it's going to go to $1,000 a month. This box gives you a node because this internet is built on blockchain. And you're going to get a node and a note. Those two get married together and they work online. And they can do over 1 million transactions a second. They said there is no limit to how many transactions it can do a second. And you get paid. Your node and your note are out there doing work on that internet, bringing you home money, and you get a paycheck every single month. How much? The CEO said 10 to 100 times more than Bitcoin miners. Let that sink in, folks. They were also talking about, hold on, I got a list here, AI water management. Sounds very boring, but he laid it out like this. Huge cities are growing, but they don't have the area or the capability to grow their water facility plants, their water development plants. They are what they are, but there's the condos going up, new neighborhoods, and they've got to clean more water, handle more sewage. Well, their AI management is handling that. How do we know? Because big cities are signing up with them. Dade County, Florida signed up with them. Los Angeles, California signed up with them. And there's a whole bunch of others. They've got another company they're invested in that has a technology that can read informational pulses before they hit your computers. Say you're flying in a plane, someone sends some bad information that can turn your plane off or make it do something stupid. This thing reads the information out there before it ever gets to you and squashes it. So it never even gets to you. Let me see. There were others too. I can't remember them all. They've got 70 companies they're invested in, and I didn't get a chance to finish it. So I'm very excited about this company because they have their fingers into a lot of things. Now, he said the AI internet is going to be a $1 trillion industry as well. And he says, I'm not saying that. This other people are saying it, and you know these people, but I can't say who they are yet. He says, but when they say it, you're going to know I'm serious because nobody's going to doubt their word for it. I have no idea. Now, here's the other thing I want to throw out there. He says in the next 90 days, most of these things are going to be launching. There's going to be spin-outs. There's going to be launches of products and services, new AI abilities. The cubes are already being sold and they can't make them fast enough. They're being sold as fast as they can make them right now. I want one. I want one, folks. I'll pay $100 a month to get a check every month that's going to grow and become passive income. And how big did the internet get? How big will the AI internet get? Whew. That's exciting to me, folks. All right, so let's get some basic information here about the company. Well, she did jump today, hot. They're not big numbers, but look, we're up almost 30 times in volume, going from 2,000 shares to 60,000 shares. Share structure for IDKFF. That's not bad. We're at about 52 million. What's concerning here, and I'd have to do some more DD to make sure I'm seeing this right. They're telling us the insiders have no shares. They haven't invested 1 penny into their own company. That's concerning. So I'm not going to take that with anything more than a grain of salt until I do more research. Market cap for this company, they're at 16.5 million. Financials, they're not making any money yet. Really? Nothing. Not annually, not quarterly. Find that interesting. Money in the bank. They only got $70,000 in the bank. Total assets, 33 million. Total liabilities, well, that's a lot less, 8 million or 800,000, which leaves us with positive stockholder equity of 32.5 million. So we're not looking bad in that regard. Even though she's not making any money, we are holding profits. All right, we got a SC13G here and some 13Ds. These are always good news. These are announcing new owners. People that came in, bought enough shares that they now own a percentage of the company. A 13D is a silent investor, somebody that just gives their money and walks away, hopes their money grows. 13G is an active investor. Somebody's going to play a role in the company because they do get a voice. They get voting rights. Looking at this 13G, the A means it was amended, so this could have come out a while ago. 3D Capital, they could be buying back shares. This is what you'll actually see. If the company's buying back their own shares, you'll see the company name up here instead of an owner or somebody like that. Yeah, it looks very, very small here. This looks like it could actually be. Include 303,000 shares per value, with SHMN or beneficial owner shares, issue common stock. I'm not real sure exactly what this one is all about here. Let's check out this 13. Oh, no. That's 2017. Always check your dates, folks. There is nothing worse than doing good due diligence on ancient news. So that was the only filing we had, was right there. News, let's see what we got over here. Anything fresh? 3D Capital acquires securities of Birch Tree Investments. Unaware of this one. Let me see. It says 3D acquired ownership and control of 750,000 shares of Birch Tree Investment. Dun. I'm trying to see the subject shares required. I don't see a whole lot more information here. It sounds like an investment company to me. I don't see anything going on. Was there anything else over here? Announces unaudited assets. Well, that's something. All right, here's our price right now, 36 cents. It's a shame. I see companies do this. They do audits on their own books, and then they will tell you what the stock is worth. Legitimate value of their stock. HNRC does it a lot. I know a lot of companies that do it. And you know what? For some reason, nobody cares. Nobody pays attention. They are legitimate values. Right here, they're telling you their stock is worth 85 cents. It's at 36. It's not moving. That news came out on the 8th, and today is the 14th. I'll have to see the chart and see if it moved on the 8th. But there you go. We know
what?
The 8th of this month.
Okay.
I do believe that is everything we need to see here except the chart, which I'm kind of interested in seeing now myself.
Oh, that's too bad. I'm not going to show you. I'm just kidding. Okay, so
That's it. You're out of here. I'll do it alone.
Hey, you. Sorry. Okay, so I'm looking at the 4-hour. I just wanted to look at the big picture as I usually do. So we have this little area shaded. We got support, now resistance, and right now we're at the very top of this.
Yeah, we are.
Another interesting thing is here at the end of last year, the fall into December, this was a nice support here on the 200. Now we're starting to straighten out. In fact, curling up a little bit. So the 8th, here's what's interesting. We're on the 4-hour. We went from the 4th to the 6th, and then there is no 8th. We might not have had enough volume, or I don't know. That's weird. The 8th was a Friday, so I don't know what's going on. So
The OTC market is filled with mysteries.
it's a little strange. Yes. So let's see what we can find here. Yeah, 6-11. It goes from the 6th, which is a teeny little tick, even on Heikinashi. See that little itty bitty little tick, and then it goes to the 11th, 6-11. And that's on the 1 hour. There is no, so who knows? But, after the 6, we've had this, look at this rising up. So
right.
we went from about 28 cents up to 36 cents. So that's a nice little jump. Look how flat we are here on the 200. This is the 1 hour chart.
And it is just now starting to curve up.
Yeah. So, yeah, so we got a golden cross here, we got a golden cross here, we got a golden cross here. Now we got the 9, 21, 50, and 200 all lined up. So this is looking really nice. If we can get above this resistance area, then we might be able to see something even better. I saw up here we had a high. This was in August of 2022, but we went all the way up to 60 cents. So, that's nearly 100% jump right there. But we are at these resistance areas. We've had it here, 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 here.
Time to watch it.
It's a great time to watch it. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so put it on your watch list for tomorrow and wait until Monday.
Yeah, we had some good support here on the 200, and now we're right at the very top of this resistance. So I'm really liking this one. So looks good. Let's keep this on our watch list. So nice. And we also have some positive, higher positive volume here too. So, and then I'll let you take over for the end of that. So I'll take this off.
Yeah, I'll take mine off too.
There we go.
We're not going to do any more, folks. We've got about an hour and a half under our belts. I mean, good God, you can see a Hollywood movie for that. But I don't charge you. I'm free. So, that makes it
I charge.
Better. She charges. I got to pay her at the end of the show.
No,
I don't get paid. Taylor does. I'm kidding. Taylor doesn't get paid either. Great to see you, Stuart. Made it down from the mountain, my friend. Glad to have you here. Folks, I see you had some other tickers here. We had Bull 10 wanted us to take a look at SLS. Let's see if we have any others here that the people can get a hold of, because we're not going to get a chance. I see a lot of people talking about LQMT, liquid metal. I like that. No, don't see it. Holo. We didn't get a chance to see Holo, and Holo was jumping around today. I've seen a lot of people in the Discord group that I'm in that were trading Holo.
We looked at liquid metal. That was one we looked
at.
We
did. Absolutely, we did. Absolutely. So we didn't get a chance to look at all of them. Chances are most weeks we won't get a chance if you drop your ticker in actually during the show. I know that seems like a bait and switch, but I put up a placeholder early for this video so people know it's going to be here. I just can't not put one up. And as soon as I put it up, the comments are available and people start dropping comments. And I do go by first come, first served. So by the time 4 o'clock rolls around, I've already got 6, 7, 8 tickers. And that is—
We looked at 7. That was pretty good.
Yeah, 7. The best we can do. So if you want your ticker in, you can come over to the YouTube channel, Stock Wizards, on Thursdays, about noon at least. It'll be there. You can drop your ticker in there, and I promise it will get looked at. Those are the ones we're looking at. So I appreciate your time. I appreciate Taylor's time, and I hope you appreciated my time, folks. We'll see you next week, Thursday, 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Have fun.
Bye.
Oh!